Hey, what's up, guys? Coming out with the video. Today I'm going to my What If series there. What if Naruto had a sister? Part 26 there. So, mostly in the last part there and part 25 there, we see Naruto, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke were technically did their summoning jutsus there and stuff like that. Mostly when they're technically doing their summonings there. Naruto actually summoned Gamachichi like he did in the original series. Sasuke summons Kamaboto, I think that's what his name is. He summons him, and Nara or not Sakura summons uh, Lady Cassiu, and of course Naruto summons Connie there and stuff like that. So, and then Naruto is saying Team 7 is back in business again there. So, mostly all four of them attack there and stuff like that. Mostly Naruto and Naruto did mostly Naruto did her Rasen Whirlpool there. Naruto did his Rasen Shuriken there. Sasuke did um, his Sonoran's flame control there, or Sonoran's flame control there. So mostly they attack their things. Mostly Naruto and Narcos actually combined, making the Rasan Hurricane there with the flame control there, with the fire going through the flame control there, and they called it Rasan Hurricane Fire there. And then mostly they were technically burning up, or technically it got hit by it there with the Rasan Hurricane Fire, and actually burning the Ten Tails up and stuff like that. Or not burning the Ten Tails, most of the Ten Tails caught on fire there, and mostly Sasuke was technically it's burning it and shit like that. And mostly Naruto was actually saying there to Sasuke there saying, douse the flames there, so me and Narco and the two Karmas can get in there and stuff like that to get out, distract all the or distract, get all the beasts out, or all the tail beasts out. And Sasuke said, no, I want to watch them burn. And the two Karmas are like, oh crap, there, and stuff like that. That happens there and stuff like that. Mostly they were mostly Naruto, Naruto, and Killer B. Mostly were taken on the fucking Ten Tails there. Naruto and Naruto using their Nine Tails forms there, using the two Karmas there, and Killer B using the Eight Tails there and stuff like that. And they're mostly trying to run away from the Ten Tails. Both of them made it out and stuff like that. And mostly Obito turns into the Ten Tails Jinchuriki there, and Naruto is actually saying, "Oh crap, Obito, he's now the Ten Tails Jinchuriki." So that was in part 25. So it was going to part 26 there. So here it goes. So part 26, we see Naruto, Naruto, and Sasuke were technically attacking Obito there. Technically Obito was technically pushing them over and stuff like that. He's like, and this is Obito was like saying like, he's like, give it up, Naruto, you and Sasuke, you don't have no power there. He's like, all three, you don't have no power against me, Naruto and Naruto. Like, they're like, why you're doing this and stuff like that. We all know you want to protect this ring person and stuff like that. He's like, he's like, mostly I got more power and stuff like that, and more power and stuff like that. So mostly he turns into the thing there. He grabs his like big ass sword thing there, charging right at Naruto and Naruto and Sasuke there. Mostly Naruto and Naruto did it. They did their forms there and stuff like that. Mostly the Kurma was actually did like he had like this like armor thing with Sasuke's Sortador or whatever he calls it. Um, mostly mostly had it with his Susanoo with Kurma's power thing there. Mostly Naruto actually mostly pound Naruto, technically Naruto and Naruto pound fist there, and mostly technically Naruto's also got this Susanoo also with the Kurama form and stuff like that. So mostly both the Kurmas were attacking the Ten Tails there, and then they're like coming right up with the sword in there, and then his like little branch sword there was getting completely shredded there, completely technically broken the technically not like in the original series where Naruto and Sasuke technically broke it. There, it actually shattered it. His sword, his like little sword thing, the stick sword thing Obito used there, actually completely fucking shattered and he's like, Obito's like, oh fuck there, and he's like, oh fuck, he's like how the fuck, he coming right at him, and then boom hits him there with the Chidori there, mostly Sasuke uses Chidori on it also, and hits him pretty hard. And then Obito's like, oh crap, how the heck they did that there and stuff like that. Mostly when they broke that thing there and shattered it completely, Naruto and Naruto got out of their Nine Tails form and hit the ground. Both of them hit the ground there and stuff like that. And then Sasuke technically um, was technically out of chakra also, and he kind of hits the ground like he did in the original series. And then and then Obito was like saying, "Why you're still fighting? You need a." He's like, both of you. He's like, you need a. He's like, both of you need to die there. And Naruto's like, I'm not giving up and stuff. And Naruto's like, yeah, I'm not either. So technically, they both punch him in the stomach there. He's like, oh crap. He's like, give it up there and stuff like that. And then mostly Naruto and Naruto punched him so hard there where the tail pieces the tail pieces were technically coming out of him and stuff like that. They're like, there's the tail pieces, grab them and stuff. Naruto and Naruto and everybody was grabbing the tail pieces there and stuff like that. Naruto and Naruto actually did their Nine Tails forms there to grab the Naruto's actually saying something. She's like, grab onto my chakra there. And then they technically grab on Naruto's chakra and they're technically pulling there and stuff like that. Mostly, technically, all the rain stuff there and Obito's like life and stuff like that, seeing his like life and stuff, plays out the same there. Mostly, it does play out the same when he was doing that stuff there and stuff like that. But technically, Naruto and Naruto actually were in his mind there and stuff like that. And he's like how, and mostly when he was in his mind there, and they're trying to confront him and stuff like that, like Naruto did in the original series. Technically, it does play out the same there with it and stuff like that. And then he sees he's like, come on, you idiot, you need to do this there and stuff like that. He's like, why I'm gonna trust you and stuff like that. And then he's like, you need to trust me. And he's like, he's like Naruto and Naruto are like, you need to trust us and stuff like that. And then we'll see Naruto. And he's like, he grabs Naruto's neck and Naruto's neck. He's like, he grabs him with both of his hands there, and he's like, he's like, why in the heck I want to believe both of you there? And then he's like, and then she's like, Naruto's like, you need to do this for this rain person there. Why you abandoned her and stuff like that. And mostly he's like seeing an image of Naruto and Naruto as mostly Naruto as himself there, like when he was young and stuff like that. And then he also sees Naruto there as Rain there. Mostly he's actually seen her. Mostly he's seen it as rain there. I think it was rain or rain. I think it was rain. Yeah, rain there. And he's like, and he's like, he's like, this is me. And he's like, wait, the other one's rain. Rain, why you did this? And mostly Rain was like telling him, she's like, don't. They're like, don't be an idiot. Just come back to our side. And stuff like that. And then you see everybody around him and stuff like that. They're like, come on, you idiot. Naruto and Naruto are like, come on, you idiot. Come over our side. And Naruto's like, yeah, come over our side there. Leave this darkness behind you and stuff like that. That's what they're saying. And mostly when they convince Obito there, mostly the Telebeasts got released there, so all the Telebeasts are out of Madara, or not Madara, but out of Obito there. He falls into the ground there and stuff like that. And mostly, Akashi was saying Naruto was about to pick him up. Naruto was like actually saying to Naruto, saying like why you had to pick him up and stuff. He's a bastard and stuff. And then Akashi comes out of the wharf trying to kill Obito there. He's like, let me finish this. He's like, Naruto, let me finish this and stuff like that. And then mostly he's like, and mostly Nibato stops. Akashi there, he's like, and then he actually gives a spill there. He's like, mostly gives a spill there saying about like how Obito was actually, or not Obito, but Nibato was actually saying about what actually happened to Reen that day, and that still plays out the same there when he was talking to Obito there. But and then he said, wow, my son, mostly, but Nibato actually was saying something about, he's like, my son and daughter gave you an election there, right? And then he said, Naruto and Naruto actually gave you an election there. He's like, and he's like, Sensei, he's like, you've raised those kids pretty well and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, he's like, they're my son and daughter. Naruto and Naruto are my son and daughter there. Why you're talking about that and stuff like that. He's like, you've raised them well and stuff like that, Sensei. And he's like, yeah, and stuff like that. And he said, I wish I could save Green that day, but I couldn't, and stuff like that. So when that was going on with that stuff there, they mostly he was telling Naruto and Naruto, he's like mostly Minato was telling Naruto and Naruto, saying stop the Madara there and stuff like that. So technically he's like, okay, Naruto, let's go and stuff. And she's like, right, and stuff like that. And mostly they're both looking at where the real Madara is at there. Mostly when they looked at the real Madara, Naruto did his Rasen Shuriken there. Naruto did her Rasen Whirlpool. They fired at it. They're like, Rasen Hurricane! And most of those Rasen Hurricanes coming at Madara there. Madara talking to the first Hokage there, saying like, well, Hokage, you know you should have done better and stuff like that, or Hashirama, you should have done better and stuff like that. And he said that. He's like, don't be foolish. Don't be foolish. Madara there. He's like, you've not been abandoned a friend there. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's mostly talking about, like he said in the original series. And then, here comes like a Thor Sand Hurricane coming right at Madara there. And he's like, try to dodge that. And stuff like that. That's what Hashirama said to him. And then he's like, oh crap. And then mostly he gets hit. And then they're like, yes, we killed the bastard. And then Madara is like, he's like, technically he dissolves the Rasen Hurricane there. And they're like, wait, what? How you reflected there? And he's like, well, you thought I was gonna get you and stuff like that. Naruto and stuff like that. And then he's like, this is it and stuff like that. So technically he jumps on the tail. He's like, oh. and he looks at all the tail beasts there. He's like, I found you, you beasts, and stuff like that. That's what Madara was actually saying. He's like, well, I found you, you beasts there. He's like, all of you need to go back to your cages. And then mostly he was saying that there, and then and then Naruto was actually saying, he's like, Naruto, get out of here. He's like, I can handle this guy and stuff like that. And she's like, really, Naruto, you can handle him and stuff like that? He's like, yes, I can handle him. Me and Kurama there will handle him. You take the other Kurama and try to get out of here and stuff like that. And she's like, right, Naruto. And then mostly Naruto was trying to think. She's like, where are you going? And then mostly, technically, he was trying to do it there. And then Naruto hits him there with the thing. He's like, don't touch my sister, you bastard. And stuff like that. And he's like, oh. He's like, the little brother's trying to save his bigger sister. And stuff like that. And he's like, shut up and stuff like that. And then, and that's where technically the what if technically ends. So in the next what if there, we'll see Naruto fighting Madara. So yep. Comment, rate, and responsive to tomorrow's. We like my videos, subscribe, and notifications on our uploads. Are responsive to tomorrow's. Like, hug out. Out of your peace.